Children to the maths lecture. In our previous lecture we have learned about direct proportion. We are studying lesson number 9 in the second semester first lesson. Lesson number 9, that is direct proportion and inverse proportion. In direct proportion we have learned, children, that two quantities are vary, right, in ratio. Means if the ratio of two quantities is constant, then it is an example of direct variation, in which when one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases. We have solved sums. Two sums I gave you as homework. I think you people would have done. Now today we will see the next one, that is inverse proportion. What is the meaning of inverse proportion? In inverse proportion also we consider two quantities, but here in inverse proportion, if the product of two quantities is equal to constant. Whatever two quantities are there, if they are multiplied and it remains constant, then that means it is an example of inverse proportion. Now for example, this board is there, it is to be colored. Suppose the board is very big. Two workers are working and they are completing the work in one day of painting. But if I reduce number of workers, I give only one worker the same job to complete the painting of the board. Will that worker take more time or less time? But naturally it will take more time because he is alone. So what happens here, when two workers are working, they are completing the work in one day. But if I reduce number of workers, if only one worker is working, then he takes 2 days to complete the work. So here what happens, number of workers decreased, number of days increased, right? Number of workers increased, number of days decreases. So here one quantity increases, the other one decreases. So such examples are said to be inverse proportion. Now children, in your textbook, before practice set 38, I think everyone's textbook is open in front of you, right? So before your practice set 38, you can see one example is given. I'll read the question for this, for you people. That is textbook here, page number 65 and 66. Textbook page number 65 and 66. Students of a certain school went for a picnic to a farm by bus. Here are some of their experiences. Say whether the quantities in each are in direct or in inverse proportion. We have to say. Each student paid rupees 60 for the expenses. Means to go for the picnic, each student gave 60 rupees. As there are 45 students, dash rupees were collected. If one student is giving 60 rupees and 45 students are going, then what we will do? We will multiply 45 and 60, right? So you get the answer for that is rupees 2700, right? So first answer is this. Then had there been 50 students, rupees dash would have been collected. If 50 students will go, each one is paying 60 rupees, then what will be the answer? The answer will be rupees 3000. Okay. The number of students and money collected are in dash proportion. See, when number of students here were 45, the amount is 2700. When number of students increased to 50, the amount increased to 3000. Means here there is an increase in both the quantities. Number of students increased, the amount also increased. So it is an example of which variation, which proportion? Direct proportion. Which proportion it is, children? Direct proportion. So this is the answer of the first one. Now let us see the second one. What is the question? The sweet shop near the school gave 90 laddus for the picnic. Okay. If 45 students go for the picnic, each will get how many laddus? Okay, means total 90 laddus are there. 45 students are going for picnic, so each student will get how many laddus? 45 into 2 is 90, so each student will get 2 laddus. 2 laddus. Okay, if 30 students go for picnic, each will get how many laddus? 3. How many times 30? 3. Sorry, 30 students are going and 90 laddus are there. So 30 how many times 90? So 30 3s are 90. So 3 laddus each will get. Then the number of students and that of laddus each one get are in dash proportion. It is in which proportion? When student increases, number of laddus decreases. When student decreases, number of laddus increases. So it is an example of inverse proportion. Which proportion? Inverse proportion. See the third one now. Third example. The farm is 120 km away from school. The bus went to the farm at the speed of 40 km per hour and took dash hours. If 120 km it is away and with the speed of 40. So 40 how many times 120? 40 3s are. So answer is 3 hours. It will reach in 3 hours. Okay. Then on the return trip, the speed was 60 km per hour. Therefore, it took how many hours? It increased the speed. Speed is increased, time get reduced. 60 how many times? 120, 2 times. So, 2 hours only it will take to return from there with the speed of 60 km per hour. So, the speed of the bus and the time it takes are in which proportion? One quantity increases, the other one decreases. So, it is an example of inverse proportion. Okay, now see the fourth question in it. The farmer picked 180 boars from his trees. He gave them equally to 45 students. So each student will get how many boars? 45 how many times 180? 45 fours are. So each student will get 4 boars. Right? Next, had there been 60 students, each would have got dash boards. If instead of 45, 60 are there, then how many boards each will get? 60 how many times 180? 63s are. So 3 boards. Here also you can see children, number of student increases, the number of board get reduced. So it is an example of which proportion? It is inverse proportion. Which proportion? The number of students and the number of boards each one get are in dash proportion. It is inverse proportion. So this example also you have to study. Now we will begin with practice set 38. So we have learned today that in inverse proportion, one of the quantity increases, the other quantity decreases. So it is an example of inverse proportion. Okay, practice set 38. First question. 5 workers, total 4 questions are there children. 2 I will solve, 2 you have to solve. So first 2 sums I will solve. 5 workers take 12 days to weed a field. How many days would 6 workers take? How many would 15? 2 questions are asked in this. So let 6 workers take X days to, first we will find for 6 workers. There are 2 questions. How many days would 6 workers take? First question. Second question, how many would 15 take? So first we will find for 6 workers. So write with me. Let 6 workers take days be X. Okay. Number of workers and number of days required to complete work are in inverse proportion. So therefore product is equal to number of days into number of workers is equal to constant. So that means number of days required, we have taken x. So therefore x multiplied by 6. X multiplied by 6 is equal to how many workers are completing how many days? 5 workers in 12 days. So 12 days multiplied by 5. So therefore x multiplied by 6 is equal to 12 5 that is 60. Therefore x is equal to 60 upon 6 which equals 10 days. So if 6 workers are doing the same work, they need only 10 days to do the work. Therefore 6 workers require 10 days to complete the same task. Task means work. Okay, this we have found out about 6 workers. Now instead of 6 workers, second question is how many? 15 will complete. How many would 15 take? So instead of 6 we have to use 15 now. Okay, so same I'll do again. You have to copy down again. Let 15 workers take days be X, and then from here I'll write. That means X number of days are required. X multiplied by 15 is equal to 12 multiplied by 5. X into 15 is equal to 60. Therefore, X is equal to 60 upon 15. 15 fours are 60. That is 4 days. So, if 15 workers are working together for the same work, they will take only 4 days. So, here we will drop as 15 workers requires 4 days to complete the same task. So both the answers are completed. Take down this again. You have to write all these things again. I have only rubbed them written. Okay. So first sum you have to do 2 times. One with 6 workers and another with 15 workers. Okay. Copied. Same steps are there, only change the numbers. Copied, children? This is the second. Now we will go on for the second sum. Let us see the question first. The question is, Mohan Rao took 10 days to finish a book reading 40 pages every day. Means one book is there, he is reading 40 pages every day, and 10 days he read, he completed the book. Means total number of pages are how many? 40 into 10, 400. How many pages must be read in a day to finish it in 8 days? So number of days you have decreased, means number of pages will increase. So let us find how many days he should take to complete same 400 pages book. Let number of pages to be read every day to finish book in 8 days be X. Okay. Now, number of pages and number of days required to finish the book are in inverse proportion. Therefore, product is equal to number of pages into number of days is equal to constant. Okay, therefore, now we have taken X number of pages, right? So first I'll write X. X number of pages you have to complete in how many days? 8 days. So X into 8 is equal to, he completes how many pages in one day? 40 pages in 10 days. First number of pages you have to write and then number of days, right? Therefore, X multiplied by 8 is equal to 400. Therefore, X is equal to 400 upon 8, which equals 50. Means Mohan Rao should read 50 pages in one day to complete that book in 8 days. Okay. So therefore, Mohan Rao will have to read 50 pages every day every day. So this is the second answer, and in the similar way, third and fourth you will do as homework. I'll read only the question. Mary cycles at 6 km per hour. How long she will take to reach aunt's house, which is 12 km away? She is riding 6 km per hour. So 6 how many times 12? 6 2s are. So 2 hours. If she cycles at the speed of 4 km per hour, then what will be the time required? The time required will be 3 hours. Okay. So same way you have to do. The stock of grain in government warehouse lasts 30 days for 4,000 people. How many days it will last for 6,000 people? The answer you will get after calculation must be 20. Okay. So these two sums you will be doing as homework. In the next lecture we will go for the next topic, that is partnership, which is again very important topic. So for maths lecture always keep textbook in front of you open and study the sums, do homework in the time in your same book and have fun, stay safe at home, be at home only, don't go outside, have fun. Thank you.